Manipulators don't choose their targets at random. They carefully observe and select individuals based on traits and behaviors that make them easier to influence. Understanding why you might be their favorite target is crucial, not only to protect yourself, but also to strengthen your inner self against their tactics. From a Stoic perspective, this awareness is the foundation of resilience and self-mastery. Let's explore the key reasons manipulators might see you as an ideal target and how Stoic principles can help you navigate these vulnerabilities. You're empathetic and compassionate. Empathy is one of the greatest virtues. It allows us to connect with others and offer support when they're struggling. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the interconnectedness of humanity, writing, "We are made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of the upper and lower teeth." But manipulators see your compassion as an opportunity. They exploit your willingness to understand and forgive, twisting your empathy into a weakness they can use against you. Why it makes you a target? Your natural inclination to give people the benefit of the doubt stems from your desire to see the best in others, a trait manipulators quickly recognize and exploit. They count on your willingness to overlook inconsistencies in their behavior or to rationalize their actions as unintentional. This makes it easier for them to mask their true intentions because they know you're likely to attribute their harmful behavior to external factors, stress, misunderstandings, or past trauma, rather than recognizing it as deliberate manipulation. By preying on your good-hearted nature, they create a dynamic where you're constantly justifying their actions while they continue to take advantage of your trust. Compassion is a strength, but it must be paired with reason. Epictetus advised, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." Use your empathy wisely by distinguishing between those who genuinely need help and those who seek to exploit it. You strive for harmony. You may have a strong desire to avoid conflict, preferring to keep the peace in relationships and interactions. This aligns with the Stoic pursuit of justice, which seeks harmony and fairness. Manipulators, however, thrive on creating discord. They rely on your discomfort with confrontation to keep you compliant. By causing confusion or tension, they push you into working harder to restore balance, often on their terms. Why it makes you a target? Your aversion to conflict stems from a genuine desire to maintain harmony and avoid unnecessary tension in your relationships. Manipulators quickly identify this trait and use it to their advantage, knowing you're likely to prioritize peace over addressing uncomfortable truths. This often leads to situations where you're willing to make compromises, even at the expense of your own needs, values, or boundaries. They exploit your discomfort with confrontation by escalating situations or creating drama, relying on your tendency to back down to restore balance. Over time, this pattern reinforces their control, as they know you'll avoid speaking up or challenging their behavior to keep the peace. This makes it easier for them to manipulate you further while you become increasingly reluctant to disrupt the fragile sense of harmony you're trying to preserve. Seneca reminds us, sometimes even to live is an act of courage. True harmony is not about avoiding conflict at all costs, but about standing firm in your principles. Learn to embrace necessary discomfort when it aligns with justice and integrity. You're open and trusting. Trust is essential for meaningful relationships. The Stoics taught us to approach others with openness and goodwill, recognizing the potential for both virtue and vice in humanity. However, manipulators exploit this openness, using it to gain your confidence and control. Why it makes you a target? Your tendency to see the best in people and assume good intentions often leads you to overlook subtle warning signs or red flags. You may dismiss behavior that feels off or disregard gut feelings that something isn't right, attributing it to misunderstandings or temporary issues. Manipulators take advantage of this mindset, knowing that your trust in others will often prevent you from questioning their actions. This allows them to push boundaries little by little, knowing you're unlikely to challenge them in the moment. Over time, this incremental approach lets them take advantage of your good nature, building a sense of entitlement without facing any real consequences for their actions. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." While it's noble to give others the benefit of the doubt, balance this trust with discernment. Observe people's actions and intentions over time, allowing trust to be earned rather than freely given. You're introspective and self-aware. Introspection is a key component of Stoic philosophy. Regular self-reflection allows you to grow and align your actions with your values. However, manipulators can twist this strength into a vulnerability. Why it makes you a target. Your introspective nature often leads you to deeply analyze your actions and behaviors, which is a valuable trait for personal growth. However, manipulators can exploit this self-awareness by subtly turning the tables on you. They might manipulate situations to make you question your own perceptions and judgments, even encouraging you to believe that you are the cause of their harmful behavior. By using gaslighting tactics, such as denying their actions, twisting facts, or claiming that you are overly sensitive, they create confusion and self-doubt in you. Since you naturally take responsibility for your own behavior, manipulators know they can push you to internalize their mistreatment, making you feel at fault. This causes you to second-guess your reality and deflect attention from their toxic actions, ultimately making you more compliant and easier to control. Over time, this erosion of your confidence and self-trust leaves you vulnerable to further manipulation, as you may begin to doubt your ability to recognize the truth in future interactions. Epictetus emphasized the importance of focusing on what is within your control. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Use introspection to understand your boundaries and build confidence in your perceptions, not to take undue responsibility for others' actions. You value relationships deeply. You may place a high value on relationships and go to great lengths to maintain them. For Stoics, relationships are opportunities to practice virtue, kindness, patience, and justice. However, manipulators often exploit your commitment, knowing you'll prioritize the relationship over your own well-being. Why it makes you a target. Your deep sense of loyalty can easily be exploited by manipulators who understand the emotional weight of cutting ties. They know that your commitment to relationships makes it hard for you to walk away, even when the dynamics are unhealthy. You may feel responsible for the other person's well-being or fear the emotional fallout from ending the relationship, making it easier for the manipulator to keep you invested. They use your loyalty as leverage, creating emotional entanglements that are difficult for you to untangle. Whether it's through guilt, emotional blackmail, or manipulation of your sense of duty, they ensure that you remain emotionally tethered, preventing you from seeing the relationship for what it truly is. Over time, the fear of hurting them or causing upheaval keeps you stuck in a toxic cycle, where you continue to give while the manipulator takes advantage of your unwillingness to sever ties. Seneca observed, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." True relationships should enrich your life and align with your values. If someone consistently undermines your peace, it's an act of justice to yourself to walk away. You struggle with boundaries. Setting boundaries can be challenging, especially if you're naturally giving and accommodating. Stoicism encourages generosity, but not at the expense of your own well-being. Manipulators see a lack of boundaries as an open door to push their agenda. Why it makes you a target. When you struggle to set clear boundaries, you often find yourself overextending in relationships, whether emotionally, mentally, or even physically. This lack of defined limits makes it easier for manipulators to take advantage of your goodwill. They may push you to do things you're uncomfortable with, or ask for more than you can give, knowing you're reluctant to say no or risk disappointing others. Without boundaries, your sense of self can become blurred, leaving you more vulnerable to their manipulation. Manipulators thrive on this flexibility, as they can test the limits of what you'll tolerate. They gradually increase their demands, making you feel obligated to comply, often under the guise of needing help or support. Over time, they condition you to accept behavior that goes against your core values, whether it's disrespect, dishonesty, or emotional neglect, because you haven't made it clear where you stand. This subtle erosion of your limits weakens your ability to protect yourself, creating an unhealthy dynamic where they control the flow of the relationship while you remain uncertain of your own boundaries. Boundaries are not barriers, they are frameworks for justice. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Use boundaries as a tool for clarity, ensuring your actions remain aligned with virtue, even in difficult situations. A Stoic path to strength. Manipulators target people not because they are weak, but because they possess admirable traits like empathy, trust, and introspection. Through the lens of Stoicism, these qualities are not vulnerabilities. They are strengths that, when guided by reason, can become your greatest defenses. By understanding why you're a favorite target and applying Stoic principles, you can transform these traits into tools of resilience. Remember, your power lies in mastering your mind, aligning your actions with virtue, and refusing to let external forces dictate your inner peace. Understanding why you're a target for manipulators is the first step in reclaiming your power and protecting your peace. By recognizing these patterns, you can start to apply Stoic principles to maintain control over your emotions, set healthy boundaries, and preserve your sense of self-worth. Remember, your empathy and compassion are strengths, but they must be guided by wisdom and discernment. If this resonated with you, be sure to subscribe for more insights on how to navigate life's challenges with Stoic principles. Leave a comment sharing your thoughts or experiences. How have you set boundaries or protected yourself from manipulation? Let's continue the conversation and build a supportive community.